Hello, everybody. I'm Judith, and I'm from Germany. And I'm a vision teacher since 30 years. And I'm also a coach. So a coach, and I like to do hypnosis. Milton Erickson, this is my method, hypnosis from Milton Erickson. And I like to combine both the vision training and also the hypnosis or coaching. Sometimes I think I'm more a coach than a vision trainer, but I like both. And I want to tell you how I involved in this scene. I was very young, and my parents, they didn't see that I have a problem with one eye. And once a time they discovered, oh my God, Judith, she can't look with one eye. So I had one bad eye. It's like myopia. And they said, oh, cover one eye. And then I said, oh, I see nothing. It's all blurred. There is nothing. And they said, oh my God. And this was like a shock. And the shock touched me very much. I was shocked as a child because I thought something is not okay with me. And I think it wasn't so bad, but the shock was really strong. And so I feared all the time that, like my grandmother, one eye would be blind someday, because the doctors, they always said to me, oh, one eye should be blind once a day. So when I studied, I heard about a book, and it was the book from Lisette John. And I bought this book, and I was totally exhausted about that, because I immediately start to make exercises, and it was really nice for me. It was really easy, and I want to learn more. I was in the middle of my study, and I find a school very close to me, and that was Wolfgang, German Wolfgang Hetscher-Rosenbauer, and his colleague was Micha Krenz. And the mixture between both was the Bates method. So Wolfgang is close to the Bates method, and Micha Krenz, he learned the Kelly work. So we have a really good mixture between Kelly work and body work and the Bates method. Yes, and then I start training. Since that time, I'm a vision trainer. I think 20 or more years ago, I stopped the normal job, and I'm only do that. So I'm free or independent as a vision trainer and as a coach. Yeah, and what I tell you today is that a very important topic theme for me is that we have our children, and we have to look for children's eyes in digital times. So I looked a little bit into the workshop of Ree, and she made really nice exercises, and she make it more with older people or more with people with disease. And I think it's also very important to do something for our small kids. And what I want to share with you some slides. So I start to share this. So can you see my slides? Yes? Give me a...
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so I just introduced myself, and I wrote a book last year. It's 1 year ago, and the English title is Head Up and See Clearly, 7 Keys to Guide Our Children Through Digital Times. And my presentation is in 3 parts. The first part is to show you how we can guide these children through digital times. The next part is the 7 keys. So I find 7 keys because I thought 7 is a good number and keys are always helpful. So I tried to get it in 7 keys to guide children. And afterwards, I want to do some nice exercises with you, and I think that would be a good mixture. We start with the first slide, and yes, digital world of work and children's room. So we have 2 perspectives during the last 30 years. There's one perspective, it's internet is as an unstoppable invasion that destroys our thoughts and emotions. This is especially a thought of the older people, but also of German brain researchers. The brain researchers, they say it's a little bit difficult to look so much at the screen. And the other perspective is internet is something omnipresent, as transparent and natural as the air we breathe. So this is more the young people, the very young people. Sometimes I think it's a part of the body, yeah, the cell phone, it's always there. So it's not possible to be without. So the question is, our children, should they be analog or digital? Analog, this is a drawing and this is a cell phone. Our family life is so digital. It rings and vibrates at the breakfast table. With half full mouth, the mother says, I have to get the smartphone quickly. It could be an important appointment. And the youngest tells about yesterday which animals he saw in the kindergarten group on the trip to the farm, but nobody's listening to him. The father tries to listen, but at the same time, he's busy writing an important mail on his smartphone. That is very typical in our family, or isn't it? Yes. So we need cell phone free areas for especially the little kids, because media use is distracting, but we need building relationships. Relationship is so important. Often cell phones used by parents interrupts contact with the child. So parents are distracted and only in half contact with the child, but they are now here, but everywhere, instead of here and now, like meditation. So it would be really important to be totally there if you are with little children. But most of us, the attention is split. So not every senses are all together. So one part of us is on another place. So we have a digital information overflow, visual stress. So you see these pictures. I like to draw the pictures myself, and I think we are vision teachers, so we need pictures for looking at it. So we see so much in a month today, sometimes in a week today, like 100 years ago in a whole life. So our eyes are all the time on the screen, looking, lots of information. And we need really a digital break for families with small children. Why do we need that? You can see the brain, and here this is the 2 regions of the brain, and it's very important that there is something going on one side to another side, and the brain has to be developed. I think the first year and the first to the 3 years of the child are very important, but the research, the brain researchers, they say it needs 21 years for a brain to develop, a very, very long time. And the senses of the children, they must develop and connect. So we have 5 senses. I come to detail later, and they all have to be connected. Also, the motor skills must be practiced. Little children have to be on the bottom. Only on the bottom they can move and they come forward and everything develops. Brain areas must also connect before we bring children into contact with the digital media. So for us older ones, it was not so difficult because our children, they don't have handies or cell phones when they were young. But today it's a big theme. And I think it's for vision trainer a big, yes, there's much to do for us. It's also a big theme for us, that we help the little children, like prevention, to become good vision and not to disturb their eyes through digital media. I want to show in a tree, a metaphoric of a tree. You see here are the roots of the tree. These roots are the sense for the close sense. It's like the sense of touch, the sense of balance, the sense of smell. And they are very important if the children are small. So they need to be carried. They need to be close to the parents, and they need to be secure. And this is important in the first year and also second year. And afterwards, this is the thumb. The vision and the looking and the listening is developed. These are not the near senses. These are the far senses. They come later. So if a little child, like 1 year, is playing with a cell phone or tablet, it's not made for it. The senses are not finished. It can't see well. So we have to take care of it, that they don't have any digital media in that time. And lots of young people, they don't know it. I told this on the schools for healthy schools, and the young people, they were very thankful to hear about that because they don't know it. We have to tell them that they know that. And afterwards, when they see and look, then the branches come, and the children, it's about five years maybe, and everything is come together. The roots, like the sense of touch, the sense of balance, of smell, and then the eyes and the listening. And then we have the leaves and the fruits. And this is like to be patient, to learn to be patient. It's like to have goals, to develop goals. It is like good learning. It's like skills and success and concentration. These are the really important things for children. And I always tell young parents or young people when they have kids, be aware of the first year of the children. Be aware of the roots. Water the roots. And if you water the roots, you don't have to do so much more afterwards. Everything is developing from itself. But put out the media, the digital media. Media stand between contact of parents and children. Rocking and swinging support the development of the senses. With no body-to-body contact, the sensory development suffers. I draw this picture with the mother, and she looked at her cell phone, but she's not really in contact with the little child. And I told a friend about that, and in that moment he said, no contact on this number. And I thought, exactly, it's a really bad joke, but you see this situation very often. I don't know in America, but I think also I see this very often in Germany. So children become frustrated if they do not receive attention. Children become frustrated when the parents are absent, when they are not aware of them. So parents' reaction, this is really good to know. I didn't know it before I wrote this book. Parents' reaction to child action must be given in a 3-second window. Oh, very short, 3 seconds. So the child is doing something and wait for the reaction. It's like the reaction of the mimic and also talking to the child. So the response of the parents influences the development of many abilities of the child. Self-confidence, willingness to learn, motivation, and security. Language development is very important. If there's no reaction, the children don't learn really good language. And playing behavior and the way the child look into the world is also very important. We have to have eye contact with our children. And if we have our handies, there is no eye contact. So really bad. So it's something, it was very important to me to write about this because I always see it. I see it when I go with the train. I see it when I am outside. I always see that the mothers are not in really contact with the children and that there is less eye contact. I tell you an interview. It was in a very famous newspaper in Germany. And there are a lot of these interviews with little children, but I tell you one. So children may resign if they do not receive attention. Teresa is 12 years. Once I want to talk to my mom when she was answering messages on her cell phone. I told her something funny and she laughed. I was very happy because I thought mom liked my story, but she laughed at a message on the cell phone and didn't listen to me at all. In the past, probably used to play with each other in the time we look at our cell phones today. I believe that there will soon be no more games nights. That's a pity. Oh, pity with two. At least when you watch TV, you still talk and laugh together. When everyone is looking at the cell phone, it is quiet in the room. So this is really sad that there is no contact when everybody is on his cell phone. So media use in early childhood means that the babies, the children are very good in imitating, and if the children learn to wipe a cell phone, the ability is wiping, but not more. So a very famous brain researcher in Germany from this is this sentence. So he said if they only learn wiping, they can wipe, but not more. And when I'm in the kindergarten, when I train the educational, they always say, little children, they can't page a book like this. They try to wipe a book.
Mm.
Yes. So digital media and concentration. I always draw these pictures. You see one picture that's full of tablets and computer here, and the other is playing outside. So the longer the children sit at the computer screen, the more badly networked are regions that find the right words for our thoughts and feelings. So that means if young children, they are playing a lot games, computer games and such stuff, they can't talk about their feelings because the regions are not combined. Also affected are the centers that are important for recalling knowledge. That means to give knowledge. We listen to something and then we repeat it. So it's really difficult. So we know if people, if children learn at school, they should not play a computer game afterward because they forget everything. So it's better to play the computer before. My son knows that. He said, "Oh, I do first the game, then I do my homework," because that it is better knowledge afterwards. Now for our adults, everything is for us adults also very important. And this is a very important slide for all of us. Digital media and concentration, because distractions like Facebook likes, WhatsApp messages lead to a production of the happiness hormone dopamine. And dopamine is here in the front of the brain. And we have also the prefrontal cortex in the front of the brain. So the prefrontal cortex, which we need to concentrate it, work, is then less active because there is so much dopamine, so we can't concentrate. And the effect is the brain honors and rewards us for not concentrating and distracting stimuli from outside. That means with every ping, the hormone dopamine is released and we are happy. Oh, a message. Oh, maybe there's something nice. And it's always dopamine going on. But lots of people, they can't concentrate a little bit longer on one theme. So dopamine gives us energy, motivates us, vitalizes us, and every sound of the cell phone rewards us with more dopamine. We want even more news. I think everybody of us knows this a little bit, knows this. It's also with me, so I include myself. Sometimes I put this cell phone far away. If you like to concentrate, it's really good to put the flight modus on so that you have really a pause of all. So the statements of the brain researchers, they ask, what do the digital media do with the brain? All actions that children often do leave footprints in the brain. So if you do something like the Bates exercises once and you do it 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, you get very good in it. And it's like footprints in the brain. But lots of the children today develop the ability to type and write, but nothing more because they train nothing. And according to Harald Spitzer, he is very famous in Germany. Do you know the name in America? Is he famous? Maybe? No? He's very...
I haven't heard of him, so no.
No? He's very interesting. Maybe you find something in English about him. He's in Germany very famous. And he said that too much digital media leads to the breakdown of nerve cells for the little children. He always said for the adults, but I don't think so. I think for the little children, it's really dangerous. And early symptoms of dementia. Wow. So the brain researchers, they say it's like emergency Reifen, was heißt eine Notreifung des Gehirns, da habe ich jetzt kein Wort für.
Emergency, like an emergency tire, or spare tire, that's usually
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, genau.
Could you spell his name?
Harald Spitzer. It's here on the slide.
Oh.
I'm very bad at spelling. Maybe Claudia can do that.
Yeah. I'm just
Googling.
I can't find anything in English.
Thank you.
I will research.
But it's all on the slide, so you can read it and look for it. So all brain researchers fear that we will lose what makes us human, our ability to think and in an independent way. So to make decisions and to act, and everything which is really important is in the prefrontal cortex. And the brain researcher, they say that it is no longer been networked enough. So we are very important, we vision trainer, to reconnect that with eye movement. This is that where I'm coming to. Digital media and concentration. What is the role of the prefrontal cortex? You see it here in front of the brain. Collecting and linking dates and facts. Linguistic expression, that means how I express myself with language. Judge and make wise decisions. And they say also it's the seat of personality. And if we lose that, if it's not connected anymore, they say we lose our personality. So social behavior and planning actions is also here. And I think vision trainer can reconnect parts of the brain with good eye exercises. Or the exercises from Paul Dennison showed us, they are really, really, really important. Now, I think this, maybe you know about that media use and myopia. I go a little bit through it. Children look at screens instead of a distance, and the increase in myopia in Asia is 80 to 100% of children are nearsighted because they are long time in front of the screen. Many hours at the media leads to myopia. We know that today. There are lots of researchers. And according to doctors, the close view of the cell phone or tablet or screen influences the growth of the eyeball. And ophthalmologists are also worried about glaucoma. Today, 46 of the 25-year-old people in Germany are short-sighted. 46 of the 25-year-old people. I don't know how exactly it is in America. I searched for it, but I think a little bit similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more maybe. I don't know.
The last number I found was 42%, but that was like not just youth, but basically overall myopia.
Okay.
It was about 25% in the 70s. So that's the numbers I found. But
Okay.
yeah, that could be, it's probably more by now.
I think so. It's growing very fast the last time. So in Asia, they've done a really good thing. They have now a break at school for 80 minutes, and they put out all the children and they play outside. And since that time, myopia is going back. So this is the next slide, I think. Yes. Playing outside protects the eyes of children. This is also important for us to look good or to be in a good state with the eyes, or to be healthy with it. We should be 1 to 2 hours outside, everybody, not only children. So parents can protect children from strong myopia, sending them to daylight more often. And good lighting in classrooms is also very important. So we can always support the distance to the screen, computer or smartphone, so that we tell our children, hey, go a little bit back. I remember when I was with my son, now he knows it. So go a little bit up, sit in a good position. And I said this not only to my son, only to all his friends. So significant effects on eye growth if the children were sent outside to play for only 1 hour a day. There are significant effects. Also, we have much better eyesight if they go outside. and a chief doctor of the clinic of, also an ophthalmologist in Berlin. He said that the close view of the screen seems to stimulate the length growth of the eyeball and affects myopia. What's that? So, no media in evening hours is also important in the night. When the children look too long at the screen, it's very difficult to sleep, to get into sleep, or to have a good sleep during the whole night. It's the same with us. So we also, yesterday I was very long here is the computer and I have very much light and I couldn't sleep afterwards. I was very awake. So computer screens disturb quiet sleep. 10 years ago, a British and a US American research group already identified a pigment in the eye that signals to the body whether it is day or night, summer or winter. It reacts especially to blue light. The blue light shows the body it's day, be awake. So we talked yesterday about the glasses, the red glasses or special glasses for the blue light. And I think for little children it's very important to stop looking at the screen 1 or 2 hours before go to sleep. Yes, now we have a little bit of summary. Effects of media on body and eyes. School children are challenged during the day in close-up vision, especially today, as in Corona times. It's very much in Germany. So children looks too long, too short of a distance. The eye mobility is limited. The neck spine is heavily stressed. The senses, hearing, 3D vision, feeling is used to less, and the synapses are not connected enough. Children have too little movement, sit too much. Children are too little in the fresh air and they become short-sighted. Do you know about the cell phone neck? The cell phone neck, that was a chiropractic. He found out that a weight of, I don't know what kilos in America is, but a weight of 27 kilos.
Maybe about 12 pounds.
12 pounds. It's like a weight of a 7-year-old child. So if we look like this, so if we look in this way to the handy cell phone, I always say handy, it's not American, cell phone, we have a strong weight, and it's like it can lead to a damage, and it's irreparable. It's not, we can't do anything against it. If it's a damage, it's a damage. So some young man has a neck comparable to a 70-year-old man. I tell you a story. Once a time I made a workshop. I came from Hanover back to my town, and I stand at the station, and there was a train coming in, and in front of the train there was a young boy, and he has like here ears, and he was looking on the screen, and I tap on his shoulder and I said, hey, if you do like that, you have, or you become a neck of a 70 or 90, I said 90 old man. He, oh, thank you. So, he took it out and said, thank you. And I thought, okay, that's good. We should do this often. So thanks to the neck spine, maybe you can feel your neck spine now, because we have a good overview from here, and we can turn it, and we look up and down and right and to the left, And this part of the spine is the most flexible, and we should take care of it. So let us take care of your spine and do good things later for it. So we need small rituals for the eyes and brain, help with learning, thinking, reading, writing. And I like to do a lot with eye movement. Also, when I train companies, I always like to. I do this with this group today. Very simple, but it's in pairs. So we do rooms to both two people to look in different ways. And if they did do that together, also in companies, they are very in a good mood afterwards, because eye movement makes good mood, and eye movements helps to come out of blockades. And therefore, I like to work a lot with eye movements. Yeah, hier nochmal, here again, sorry, that was German. Education in digital times is make children aware of the importance of their own attention. Very, very important. Training mindfulness, one thing after another. This is also my all day life. I don't do 10 things parallel. I do one thing after another. Is much more, has much more effect. It's much more better. Exercise that involves all senses for the children, seeing, hearing, feeling. I would like to make an exercise with you in this direction. Making sense games with children, feeling something, listening, hearing. Integration, mindfulness, exercises into everyday life with children. Yes, and the 3-minute break I would like to do with you.
Oh, say that again, Judith.
Sorry? I like to do the 3-minute break, 3-minute break for the senses. I like to do these exercises with you today. So I have a short look on my, okay. Time is running. You're still with me?
Oh.
You're still there? Yes?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Two small slides for families. So create oases with the families and small children. So go into nature with young kids. Leave your cell phones at home or in the car. Take along in case of emergency, but set to flight modus. Go into a relationship without media. Use board games, ball games, and all kinds of games outside. Awareness, pausing, looking, listening, smelling. If you take all sense together, there comes up feeling. So if you want to remember an old nice feeling, you remember what was the smell, what can I hear, what can I see, and then you get back a feeling. So feelings come, good feelings come if you have all sense together. So add sometimes more of your things in your success basket, less things in the problem basket. So make compliments also for yourself and for your children and for others. Take quality time, 1 a day, spending time together without media. Talk about the day, listen with attention, take an interest, be friendly, praise more, and put more in the basket of success. Getting interested in games on the computer, this was always I had to do because my son liked computer games very much, and I was very scared about that. And then I showed him these slides and I talked to him and asked him, what do you get out of playing? Or what do you experience during the games? Or why do you like playing? And it was so interesting what he answered to me. So I was very glad that I do this job, because it was very interesting to speak with him about that. Sometimes he said, "Oh, there's so much in my head, and when I do nothing, it's going around and around, and then I play a game." So it's also for destroying. So shared media fasting, we can make media fasting together, especially in early years, practicing self-regulations with media. So, oh, I see. Here is a nice play game. So I told you I like eye movements. They help to free the brain and absorb new things. Eye relaxation helps the eyes and brain to learn things new. And small minutes exercises helps to regenerate the senses. Ah, you have also? Ah, Claudia. Yeah.
I love these things.
So I have a lot. Look here. Do you want? Yeah, grab one. So now I stop my, I stop. If you look at the screen, Balabas, is possible? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And now look about to the right and left side. So you
So are we following the thing, or are we using it?
following mine, and later
Oh,
on you
okay.
do it together. Try to follow that.
Also, I should put on speaker view, so you're bigger. Yeah.
Okay, this is a good idea. Good idea, good idea. Speak a few and you can go with it. From side to side is very important for reading. So children need that to get good eyes for reading. I do it in the class of my son, and the teacher said, "Oh, Frau Bolz, I've seen the children, they can't read, they can't do it. They have jumps in their eyes." So she was very aware of it. So we can train this with children for better reading. And then this way.
Judith, should we be moving our eyes or the head or both?
You move best your eyes and a little bit like an echo in the neck. But the eyes are very important.
So you're doing more eye movement than head. I usually move my head along with my attention. But you're saying we should just move the eyes and the head just a little bit, or?
A little bit, like an echo, an echo.
Echo is right.
Yes, that's right. Because some people, they don't move their eyes. If they can go with the head, they go like that. But the eyes don't move. So first start with the eyes, and then you can go also with the head. And then diagonal. And then in the other, I show only for short, and then you can do it together in groups. And then a big circle, one direction, a big circle, the other direction. And then, Claudia, kritzel, kratzel.
Oh, you mean just doodling?
Doodling.
Yeah,
Doodling direction. Because it's much more interesting if somebody else doing that for us and not myself, because I know where I go.
Right.
Okay. Therefore, it's nice to do it for short time in groups. So these are the 7 keys. So it's a little bit of summary. Something is new. So in early childhood, reflexes, vision, and learning. So the key one is that we have the reflexes of the little child, and the reflexes, they need to regress that movement can start. And the reduction of reflexes helps the child to move around. I'm not a reflection specialist. It's very, very different, or it's very, you have to learn lots of stuff. We have people in Germany, they do that, but also the doctors for children, they know a lot about it. And I heard an interview of a doctor for children, and he said it's still very important during pregnancy that the mother should move around. So it's, now look at all our mothers, they are sitting at the computer and they are pregnant and they're sitting and sitting. So it's really important for the mother to move around, that the development of the children later goes a good way. And also stress is not good for the children, or worries, questions like how does being a parent are also very important. So we vision trainer, we can help with baby massage, swinging, rocking, body contact, because body contact release the oxytocin, and the oxytocin is the hormone for harmony. So we have lots of harmony if we have lots of touch and feeling, and so we have much more harmony when we not touching each other. It's less of oxytocin, and it's really important for little children. Keetu is the development of senses and the physical contact. It's a tree again. You remember, if you have our senses, we have the world. This is a really wise sentence, because if we can't see, we don't have the world. If we can't listen, we don't have the world. We need all senses to be in the world. Senses gives our orientation. Where am I right now? Ah, I'm here. Okay. Every medium, computer, tablet, smartphone, there's a smart and A too much. Also books splits up people, so also books, because if you read a book, we are in the book and we can't see what else is happened around us. So we have the near and the far sentence. The near sentence are the kinesthetic, olfactory, gustatory sentence, and the far senses are the visual and auditory, the virtual senses we need later for digital media, but not in early times. So watering the roots, promoting near senses, and after that the trunk grows, stimulate the distant senses, eyes and ears, then the branches symbolize the integrations of all senses. The leaves and fruits represented learned skills, and such as concentration, hand-eye coordination, and patience. Here you see the tree in a big picture. And you can see sense of touch, sense of balance, sense of smell, sense of taste are the near senses, and later on, sense of sight and sense of hearing. This is key 2. So key 3 are the motor skills and vision. Children need exercises for movement development. Seat buckets or walking aids, or things we help people to sit or to walk. And early use of media disturbs the development of movement. And movement and eye skills are very close to each other. You can see here a little child rocking in the 4-foot position. If they rock like forward and backward, they train their near and far vision. I didn't know that before, but I talked with a colleague, with Marianne Windel, and we made further education for people who want to train little children. And then we find out that the rocking in the 4-foot position trains near far vision. You can do it also as an adult. If you have problems with it, you can relearn it in this way. So every step in motor development, also crawling, I think you know, it's like combines both brain sides is very important. It's also trained the vision. The movement and vision is very, very close to each other. So put your child on a crawling blanket, because on a crawling blanket, the child do everything itself. I'm very glad that I heard when I was a young mother, my osteopathin, she said to me that I should lie or put my son on a crawling blanket on the stomach, and everything will go from itself. So motor skills will develop by themselves. Watch this child curiously instead of helping. Children who learn to walk without help have a much better quality of movement and train their visual sense much better, because they have to get up and they fall and up and fall, and this is really good training for the whole body. The next key is bonding and contact. Eye and body contact is important to life as food. We have to look for really good emotional bonding. Bonding is through eye contact. This is the first bonding contact with mother and child. And also building a good relationship with our children during puberty. So a warm eye contact, closeness, and physical contact creates bonding. And we have a 5-to-1 rule in communication. So when we give our children bad messages, one bad message, we need 5 messages to neutralize that. So it's better to use nice words and not bad messages. It's not so easy, but we can train that. Key 5, digital media and education. We need digital care for small children from home, kindergarten, and school. We need digital care. We have to tell it into the world. It's so important. Nobody looks for that. Digital media disturbs growth, and like candy, doesn't belong in a child's room. Not in the first 3 years. Children need clear media rules and until the age of 12. After that, they should get help from the parents, so that they learn it self-determined and in a creative way. So I think so, yes, with 12 years, they can make it more independent. Key 6, the brain and its memory. It's very important for learning. Eye movements help to connect and reconnect regions in the brain. So this is very important for us, for the vision trainers. So we can connect and reconnect. You remember the prefrontal cortex. My idea is if it connect of lots of playing, we can reconnect this with special eye movements. So we are very important that time. The brain does not learn digitally. Why? The computer hard disk is full at some point. No, you can have a disk and at some point it's full, but the brain gets never full.